I want to share with you the law of success for employment lawyers. So, if you are an employment lawyer, you want to really explore all the possibilities that you have currently. Okay, and you need to understand that this is a very this is a changing industry, and you got to adapt your skill set to that changing industry. So, let me give you some generalities here. If you think about the law of success for employment lawyers, you need to understand that when it comes to employment law, not only do you have a field that's changing at the federal level, but you also have some state regulations too, and even in some cases, some local regulations. Okay, so you have you have lots of possibilities, but you also have lots of opportunities for employment lawyers. You also need to understand that clients, not just company, like not just corporate clients, but also individual clients, are constantly looking for attorneys who can help them navigate the complex maze of workplace laws and regulations. And I'm not just speaking about OSHA, because a lot of individuals, a lot of people, they think that when you look for an employment lawyer, that's because you want to comply with OSHA. But OSHA is just one small part of the maze that I was just talking about, the complex maze of workplace laws and regulations. Okay, so the thing is that if you're looking for if people are looking for an employment lawyer, they're looking for someone who just who understands the law, who understands the labor law, but also understands how to apply that to their specific niche, to their specific industry, to their specific occupation. Okay, so if you want to be a successful employment lawyer, you have to know how to navigate this several layers of employment law. Okay, and also when it comes to employment law, you need to understand that you can take on several cases. You can take on discrimination cases, harassment cases, occupational safety cases, wage and hour disputes, wrongful termination, workers' compensation, employment contracts and agreements, Family and Medical Leave Act violations. So you have a lot of fields, and I want to go through every single field with you to teach you all the opportunities that exist in those fields. Okay, so basically, first let's talk about discrimination. Discrimination is pretty straightforward, right? If somebody gets discriminated against because of their race, gender, age, disability, sexual orientation, religion, or other protected characteristics, they will need a lawyer, and the lawyer can really help them win. Harassment, same thing. Wage and hour disputes also are pretty solid when it comes to employment lawyers. If you want to be a successful employment lawyer, you have to also focus, depending on your geography, but also depending on your niche, you may focus on wrongful termination. And so when I say a wrongful termination, I want you to really understand that it's not just about the legal protection or company policy that are actually there are I would say they are in question here, right? It's all about how they happen, how those processes happen. Okay, because for instance, when you think about wrongful termination, you may have terminations that breach employment contracts overall, employment contracts at the federal level, employment contracts at the state level. Okay, or let's say terminations that occur as a form of retaliation. So just be aware that if you have to take on wrongful termination cases, you want to really hear all sides of the story. Otherwise, you might be making some big mistakes. Workers' comp is actually another big area that you may want to focus on if you are an employment lawyer and you want to be successful. Okay, especially when it comes to when it comes to claims where things are denied, or employers retaliate against employees for filing a claim in the first place. Those are cases that can really establish you as an authority in the field, as in the field of employment law. Okay, and you can also focus your practice on employment contracts and agreements. So basically, you can help clients negotiate, draft, and review employment contracts. Okay, including NCAs, so non-compete agreements.
confidentiality agreements, and severance agreements. Okay, so you are really at the center of the employment work here. And you can also work on FMLA violations, okay, if you want to be a successful employment lawyer. And so basically, employees facing denials of rightful leave under the FMLA or experiencing retaliation for taking such leave can actually seek assistance from employment lawyers like you to actually protect their rights. Okay. Also, if you want to be a successful employment lawyer, you can also defend workplace safety and health cases, labor relations cases, or employee benefits. Okay. Now, when I say workplace safety and health cases, see, the thing is, when it comes to employment law, a lot of people just, I think I've said this before, like a few minutes ago, people just focus on OSHA. But workplace safety and health goes beyond OSHA, actually. Okay. So basically, what I'm saying here is that you, as an employment lawyer, you might be able to handle cases related to violations of workplace safety regulations. Okay, and you can actually make sure that there are no serious fatalities or serious injuries on the job. When I say labor relations, for instance, if employees are part of a union, you as an employment lawyer, you might be involved in matters of collective bargaining, labor disputes, and grievances against employers. Actually, for violating labor agreements, for instance. Okay, and also you might be involved in employee benefits. So issues related to employee benefits, including health insurance, retirement plans, and other employer-provided benefits, can also be addressed by employment lawyers, particularly in cases of ERISA. Okay, so ERISA is pretty big when it comes to employee benefits. So ERISA stands for Employee Retirement Income Security Act violations, ERISA violations. So you are able to get things done. So my point is very simple. If you want to be a successful employment lawyer, you have to expand the the array of cases that you take on. Okay, so you can play a critical role in maintaining fair and lawful employment practices, safeguard employee rights, and assist employers in compliance with labor laws. And that's what you want. See, you're not just defending employees versus employers. You're also defending employers versus, I mean, not versus, but employers in I would say, situations, labor related situations. So let me go a little more granular here. So I want to share with you the exact law of success for employment lawyers that you really need to take away from this video into this conversation. So you need to understand that if you want to be a successful employment lawyer, you need to understand that communication skills are going to be quite essential for you. Okay. And when I say communication skills, I'm speaking about both orally and verbally. Not just the way you write, but the way you talk also. Your ability to connect with people, your ability to actually defend a case, okay? Your stage presence, that's going to be very important. So if you want to be a successful employment lawyer, work on those two things. You want to work on your communication skills, okay? You have to be able to articulate complex legal concepts clearly and persuasively to clients, judges, and opposing counsel. Your analytical skills are also in demand here because this is how you're going to distinguish yourself and win the case. Okay, because you will be in a situation where you will be you might have to analyze vast amounts of information, identify the relevant legal issues, and devise strategic approaches to address those issues. So this actually requires sharp analytical skills to interpret laws and apply them to specific case facts. You also want to understand that as an employment lawyer, if you want to be successful, you got to have expert knowledge of employment law. Okay, so I'm speaking about federal, state, and local employment laws. Actually, you need to stay up to date with the latest legal precedents and regulatory changes to provide accurate and effective counsel. Because Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to provide tutelage, provide direction that's actually value added, that's actually updated, that's actually up to date. Okay, so you have to really sort of recycle your own knowledge to be able to be able to position yourself as a successful, as a knowledgeable, as a value adding employment lawyer. If you want to be a successful employment lawyer, another law of success revolves around your negotiation skills, your empathy, your attention to detail, and your problem solving skills. Let me explain real fast. So, when I say negotiation skills, you need to understand that in this economy, and it has been happening in the last 20 years, 20, 30 years, many employment disputes are resolved through negotiation instead of litigation. It's actually cheaper for the judiciary system. It's cheaper for both parties. It's cheaper for employees. It's cheaper for employers too. Okay, so as an employment lawyer, you have to be an adept negotiator. You should be able to secure favorable outcomes for your clients while maintaining professional relationships. Okay. And when I say empathy, you need to understand that employment issues, you probably know this, those issues are often personal and can substantially impact an individual's life. So, an empathetic approach helps in building trust and understanding your client's needs and objectives. Okay. And when I say attention to detail, well, you can't really underestimate your level of granularity. Here, I'm not just asking you if you want to be a successful employment lawyer. You can't look at a case with a bird's eye view. You have to go granular, okay? Because what happens here is that employment law involves intricate statutory and regulatory requirements. So attention to detail is necessary to spot critical issues in contracts, policies, and legal documents that could actually have significant implications for a case. And when I say a problem solving skills, basically you got to be a creative problem solver, often needing to find unique solutions to complex employment issues, especially if you are in a niche that's pretty unique, right? Every niche is different, every sector is different, and clients come to employment lawyers for solutions, and it's up to you to be creative to actually offer those solutions. And when I say being able to navigate complex employment issues, here this could involve developing novel legal strategies or finding practical solutions that actually satisfy all parties. Also, if you want to be a successful employment lawyer, another law of success revolves around your persistence and resilience, okay, ethics and integrity, and finally, cultural competency. I want to start quickly with cultural competency. See, the thing is that I think I've said this before. In this economy, things are changing all the time. So if you are, let's say, representing, I would say, a company outside of this country, or you just representing, let's say, employees, they have a specific background culturally. You have to understand their mindset. You have to understand their quote unquote psyche, because their culture will give you an idea about how they think, what they believe in, what are their principles, what are the values, and that can help you actually navigate the case. That can help you defend the case. That can help you negotiate a great settlement with the with the not only with the employee but also with the company, right? So cultural competencies is important. So given the diverse nature of the workforce, you got to be culturally competent, understanding and respecting the varied backgrounds and perspectives of your clients. Okay, so this is an important element, not only in the short run but also in the long run. If you want to establish yourself as an empathetic employment lawyer, having this cultural competency can really help you big time. Also, when I say ethics and integrity, as an employment lawyer, you must uphold the highest standards of legal ethics and integrity, ensuring confidentiality, avoiding conflicts of interest, and acting in the best interest of your clients at all times, especially when it comes to scalability. And finally, you got to have persistence and resilience. So, employment law can involve challenging cases and long, drawn out legal battles. So, if you are actually a lawyer in this field, you need to be persistent and resilient, ready to advocate tirelessly for your clients, even in the face of setbacks. And those setbacks will come. I mean, you're not going to have 100% wins. You will have some wins, you will have some losses. It's up to you to actually be able to like get back up, dust yourself up, and actually go back out there and fight again. So, what are the extras here? I just gave you the law of success for employment lawyers. Let me give you a few extras before I close to this conversation. One thing I want to say before closing to this conversation is that this economy is changing all the time. Okay. So, for you to actually choose the specific niche that you want to focus on, obviously you can say, you know what, I am an employment lawyer. So, I know everything about the employment, like everything I need to know about employment law. But if you do not specialize, it will be very complicated to attract the right type of audience because if you are a lawyer, if you are a lawyer for everybody and nobody at the same time, you're not going to attract anybody at all. Okay, so be specific, be target. You want to target your practice as you want to see exactly what's popular or what type of employment law is popular right now for you to attract the right and also value added or even profitable niche. Okay, so it's important to understand that the when it comes to employment laws and regulations, you have a very complex industry, especially when it comes to representing the right clients, right? The right clients in terms of the right cases too, because people can bring cases that include discrimination based on race, gender, age, disability, sexual orientation, or even bring you a case of OSHA, like a case that relates to OSHA. But the question is, before you take on such a case, ask yourself: does the case have merit? Because you do not want to actually defend a meritless case. You do not want to bring a meritless case to court, or you do not want to handle that meritless case actually in negotiation or mediation, right? It's a waste of time. It's a waste of billable hours. Let me just put it that way, quote unquote billable hours, because if you waste your time, those hours will not be billable. So what I'm trying to say here is that for you to be a successful employment lawyer, you have to choose your cases correctly, and everything goes back to the niche. Okay, don't try to be a lawyer to anybody. Don't try to be an employment lawyer to anybody. Don't try to handle all employment law cases. I don't care how big your firm is. If your firm has 1,000 lawyers or 10,000 lawyers, even if it has 10,000 lawyers, you have to choose those cases they have potential, right? It's not just about spending time and spending resources. If you're allocating resources to that case, you want the case to have a positive ROI, because at the end of the day, you are not a philanthropy. Your law firm is not a philanthropy, and you're not a charity. So you have to be able to pay your researchers, to pay your extra your paralegals, your back office, your lawyers, and all that personnel needs to be kept for a long time. So the whole process has to be profitable. So, as an epilogue into this conversation, I spoke to you about the law of success for employment lawyers. I give you the generalities, the law of success, the extras, and now the epilogue. Thank you so much. God bless you. I will see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.